What I've found is that the self-awareness triangle has come from a lot of my own more powerful and deeper work from other places. Especially in New Zealand, it's very hard to introduce this within the country because it's very small and it's very hard to get a critical mass of people to be involved in things like breath work. However, there are many practices that can take you in body work, in emotional understanding, and in powerful philosophical readings, and also at the spiritual level. Many different practices, even in a small country like New Zealand. What I find really interesting is that most people stay in one or maybe two of those places, like the physical and the spiritual, and maybe miss the emotional, and not even the cognitive, or maybe the cognitive and the physical, but not the emotional. And so, you know what I'm saying? What I like about this process, it includes everything. At the beginning, it might include everything a little bit, but as you get into it more and more, you find the whole of the person becomes more interested, more open, more available for many of those things in the physical, emotional, cognitive and spiritual level in a balanced way. Because what you're trying to do is to keep yourself as centered and as real as you can. So what happens is that you find it quite a joy to read about all sorts of interesting things. Scientific advances, philosophical understanding, spiritual connections. So you can develop the cognitive quite well, but the most important thing is to develop the physical and physiological very well with the emotional. You will find quite a number of people have very deep spiritual understanding, maybe okay in their physical, but have not addressed their emotional. And that's what I call emotional bypass. And that's the major thing I see going on in the workplace, is that people keep themselves constricted and controlled and use their survival mechanisms to keep themselves sane. So there's like a big shield around them, things coming and going. So with the awareness, through the awareness gap of detachment, so that you're open for whatever's coming at you, you can find that you can be in all sorts of stormy, conflicting, confrontational places, and you can put the shield up, because it's like dream, the third dimension. What I'm saying there is that time and space are different. So when you're comfortable being in the dream world, you're comfortable in the third dimensional reality, the external day by day, when stuff is coming at you. So there's a kind of interesting thing can happen. Now, I don't want to get into quantum physics or anything like that, or any of that stuff, but what happens is that detachment, the awareness gap, that detachment you develop, it kind of slows down things that are coming at you. Oh, here's a big one. Here it comes. Where's it going? Oh, into the gut. Right. I felt that one before because I've done the work on that. So I know what that is. So I won't allow it. I'll use my awareness and understanding to say, do not impact me. Do not give me flight and fight. Do not make me anxious, afraid, scared, confused, angry, or whatever the negative emotions are, because you know what that is. And then you can express that to that person and say, I got your message around what you were saying. I'd just like to say, and you use neutral language, slow down your voice, maybe a bit deeper, and say, I'd just like to say you had the impact on me, but I don't really want to be involved in that sort of discussion right now. Is that okay? And they go, oh, they are aware of it, they are conscious of it, or they're not conscious of it. So that allows you to be quite comfortable in those situations. So what that means is that you can move into more and more challenging opportunities that are around you. You don't feel scared and afraid. So we do know, if we look at popular media, where the film Social Network, an interesting example of this in action, or Inception, another interesting example of this in action, is that young people with all their energies are quite often jumping into quite dangerous situations. And that's what young people do. But if they've got this level of awareness as well, they can make sure that it's a bit more calculated, so they can take great risks within the world in a creative way by having this level of awareness. And I think with young people I've worked with, they get it like that.